Hey everyone, here's a quick heads up. The Agile Online Summit is coming soon. You can get all the details at bit.ly/Agile Online Summit 24. Yes, it's all lowercase, all one word. That's bit.ly/Agile Online Summit 24. Stick with us till the end of the episode to know the dates, the tracks, and some surprises we have ready for you. But for now, let's dive into today's episode. Hello everybody, welcome to our Wednesday, the Leading Change episode, this week with Anita Kalmane-Boot. Hey Anita, welcome back.
Hello, good to be here again.
Absolutely, and to talk about a topic that we've touched on yesterday and on Monday, which is change. Sometimes it's personal, like it was for you on the Monday episode. Sometimes it's a lot more. It could be team level, organizational level, whatever that is. Anita, tell us about one of those change processes that you were involved with. Walk us through the steps, like how they happen from beginning to end, and then highlight for us the tools, the tips, the tricks, and techniques you learned back then that you still apply today.
So many things to tell you about. Let's try to take it slowly. Once upon a time, I joined a company. It was around 20, 25 people working in software development. And in one of the first days when I was working there, they said, the way how we work doesn't work. We want to change it, but we don't know to what. Do something about it. I think it was really the first week. I didn't know people. I didn't know their challenges. The previous Scrum Master had already left the company. And they said, we have a brainstorming session. Can you facilitate it and bring the change? Okay. So I facilitated this brainstorming session in the best way I could, in my best intentions. And I did a mistake, which was not checking how the teams work there. In a way, how I work, I like, as I say, I don't want to say I'm a lazy Scrum Master, but I like making people work. I think in a team, everybody should be working on improving themselves and not a Scrum Master working on improving the team. So at the end of that brainstorming session, we highlighted some ways how we want to change. And then I said, for each action point, can we have a few volunteers who work on that action point, coordinating, bringing it forward, and so on. That's not the way how that team or company was working. So I got the volunteers, but they never did anything. And I got very, very bad feedback on not being clear and why do they need to do Scrum Master's job and so on. But what turned out in that company was that they had two product managers, let's call it that way, who were both involved in all teams. So you would have a daily with around 15 people, out of whom half didn't speak. They would just be attending there. And whenever you would ask a question to a product manager, the answer would be, I don't know, I need to check with that and that person and I'll get back to you. That was a typical daily. So after a lot of discussions and figuring out how it works, and so I said, I don't think Scrum works for you guys because the way how you're working, it's not Scrum. You're not working in iterations. You know half a year in advance what you will be building. There is no room for discussion. You're not really changing things based on customer input. It's kind of like a feature factory. So I suggested them, why don't we try exploring some other software development techniques, what work better for you? Because you are not going to change your feature factory, in different words, of course. So slowly we start exploring moving to Kanban. And I know there are a lot of discussions if Scrum is better or Kanban. We're not going to get there. I knew some things of Kanban, but I was no expert in it. So for me, it was also a chance to learn a lot about Kanban on my own. I started reading more things, listening to podcasts, listening to videos, attending webinars, and so on. And I think that was very nice that I was able to tell them about Kanban from my very new experience and say, I don't know everything either. I'm telling you what I have learned so far. The rest we can explore together. We also changed the way how the teams work, that there would be really one product manager per team. And I tried my best to coach the product managers to say, when you come to a daily, come with an answers. Try to get the mandate from your management that you can give answers, because an answer I need to check with somebody means you're a proxy. Then we should get that person directly in the room. It's waste of everybody's time and nobody gets happy. I'm happy that after I left the company that they still kept the same structure I implemented with one product manager per team, where that person would really be trying to get all the ownership. And it was very, very hard and long way with trying to explain why is that happening needed and what's the benefit of it. Um, but I I think I achieved something there, although it's hard to say how much is stuck after you leave the company, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the things that I really like about this story is that we need to recognize as Scrum Masters that even though our name is a Scrum Master, what we are doing there is to help teams and, of course, ultimately companies succeed. We are not there to kind of tell them what they need to do. We're there to help them discover what they need to do. And we can't do that for them, right? This has to be, and this is one of the key difficult aspects of change is you need to help people discover what's the right approach for them. And if we take that away, right, like we just tell them what the right approach is for them, then we also take ownership, and then they are not committed to doing any of the things that we try to do, which is, I guess, one of the problems that this particular team had when you joined, right? They were told to do something and they didn't really feel it worked for them. And they told you that, right? It doesn't work for us. And they were looking for something else. Another thing that I really like about your story is how you recognize that you got into the flow immediately, right? Got into the flow of doing stuff with the team immediately. But when looking back, you recognize that I should have stopped a little bit and investigated a bit before doing anything else. And I think that's also another key lesson for us as Scrum Masters, that don't start a change process when you don't understand what the current situation is to begin with.
I think that we have, not only we as Scrum Masters, but we as humans have so many assumptions and we don't realize all of them. Like I had assumption based on your name, you're a Portuguese. I think I checked it, but it was an assumption I could have not checked and just started saying you something in Portuguese, right? And you could have been from anywhere else speaking no Portuguese, right? But we have this assumption. So nowadays, when I do job interviews, when we're hiring software developers, product owners, or other Scrum Masters, and they say, yeah, I have worked with Scrum, I don't just accept the answer I ask. Can you explain how was your process? Can you explain what does Scrum mean for you? And only then I can see, have they really been working on Scrum, or have they been working in something what they think is Scrum, which is often the case, to be honest. And not really just accept, oh, they know how Scrum works, I don't need to explain anything and they'll be fine. No, that's not the case. It's the same as when I go for job interviews and they say we're using Scrum in our company. I always ask them why. And quite often the hiring managers don't know what to answer.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about that, like that why question or that exploratory conversation that you start, helps you to first get a good picture of where people are and how they see what's going on. But it also helps you bring to the conversation all of your experience with similar situations. And that curiosity question, like, as you said, asking the hiring manager why, what it brings is reflection to the conversation, right? Because when you ask why from the hiring manager, they immediately go into reflection mode. Right? They try to figure out in their mind what were the reasons that we started with what we started. And that's very important information for us because, in this story you just told us, Scrum just wasn't the right thing for them. Okay, that's fine. Like, let's move on. Let's try something else, right? And we are ready for that if we understand what they are trying to achieve. And reflection conversation really helps with that.
And I think that, as you say, Scrum is not answer to everything, which is why I find our job title a bit misleading. I don't feel like a Scrum Master. I feel like an Agilist. That's how I like to call myself. It doesn't matter what technique you use, as long as you help the team to perform better.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't help, or it doesn't matter what terminology you use, as long as you help the teams perform better. Well said. Thank you for sharing that, Anita.
Thank you, Vasco.
Hi there, Agile friends. Thank you for sticking around. So, as I was saying at the beginning of the show, On October 22nd this year, we will have the first day of the Agile Online Summit 2024. The summit will take place from October 22nd to 24th, so make sure you book your calendars as there will be loads of sessions for you to attend, including live QAs with the speakers, networking sessions, and more. This year, we're also organizing regular networking events online so that you get to talk and meet your peers before the summit even starts. So if you want to know more, check them out at bit.ly/Agile Online Summit 24. That's all one word, all lowercase. That's bit.ly/Agile Online Summit 24. You can sign up for a free ticket and get notified when those warm-up events will be organized, so stay tuned. Now, regarding the summit, our opening keynote will be Marshall Goldsmith's exposition of a project he's been working on for a while. That's marshallgoldsmith.ai. And Marshall is an author and also a leadership coach who sold over 3 million books worldwide and has been considered twice #1 leadership thinker in the world by Thinker 50. And you definitely don't want to miss that. If you want to know more about the tracks, here they are. We will have 4 tracks. The first track is Shift from Product to People. In this track, we will explore what we call the third wave of Agile adoption, exploring psychological safety, coaching techniques, and more to unlock your team's potential. In this track, you can learn to foster trust, encourage innovation, and build high-performing teams. Transform your approach and the future of Agile to be much more people-centric. The second track we have for you is value-centric product development. In this track, we will learn how to master product management and ownership by focusing on value. We will learn to identify, validate, and deliver what customers truly need, and dive into customer-centric approaches, experimentation techniques, and continuous market validation ideas. We have to accept that if Agile is to succeed, we have to become value-centric, and that's what we explore in this track. The next track is titled Agile Coaching Masterclass. We want to help take your coaching to the next level and transform team performance. Develop key Agile coaching skills, emphasizing people-centric and value-centric approaches in line with the previous tracks. And we will help you learn how to guide teams towards value focus and effectiveness. In this track, we want to help you unlock the potential of the individuals and the organizations you will be working with. After all, the future of Agile is coaching-centric. And finally, the last track, and definitely not the least, is all about the future of Agile. Explore the trends shaping Agile's evolution. The previous 3 tracks do that as well. Discover real-world success stories from innovative companies pushing the boundaries of what's possible today, and learn how practitioners are evolving Agile practices, gain insights in how to revolutionize your own approach. After all, the future of Agile is here, so let's explore it. You will also have the opportunity to network with your peers, so get your ticket and join our Slack at bit.ly/Agile Online Summit. That's all lowercase, all one word, bit.ly/Agile Online Summit 24. As always, we have free tickets and the VIP tickets, so check them out. It will all be available at bit.ly/Agile Online Summit 24. I'll see you on the conference floor.